Am I the butthole? My brother woke me up extremely intoxicated at 5 and he thinks I overreacted. Okay, so I'm 16 female and I live with my dad and older brother 19. My older brother is a drinker. He will go out with his mates, get intoxicated to the point where he will get in the house at 3, 4, 5 a.m. and create drunken shenanigans for about an hour. This is a regular occurrence. He frequently comes into my room and wakes me, which my dad has warned him not to do before. Last night, for the millionth time, he came in around 5 o'clock and woke me. He was babbling about something but wasn't making any coherent sense. I repeatedly told him to get out and he eventually did. I got up this morning and decided I had enough and told my dad to get me a lock for my bedroom so I can sleep in peace. Apparently, he found out, came into my room, and started insulting me, calling me a baby who always gets her way and a bitch. At that point, I just told him to get out of my room. He seems to think I overreacted, but I don't think I should need to get a lock for my bedroom just to be able to sleep in my own house. I just want to be able to go to sleep and not be woken until my alarm. I genuinely don't understand what he's angry about. I just want a lock for my privacy. Did I overreact? Am I the butthole? Edit. My dad is dealing with the situation. He had a stern talk with my brother and plans to have an even sterner talk when he isn't hungover. He also agreed to not only buy the lock but put it in for me. He said that crap is going to hit the fan in the next few days for my brother. Edit 2.0. Just wanted to say thanks for the honesty, advice, and support. I really appreciate it. I see now that my brother is the butthole here, not me. Really, appreciate you guys. I'll give you guys an update if anything else happens. Not the butthole. WTF? Your brother is insane to be upset at that. Your parents should have gotten you a lock months ago. Original poster replies. Thanks, I genuinely agree. I have wanted one for a while now, but this was the final straw, I guess. You go up. When I was in college, my roommate liked to stay up playing video games and screaming with his friends in voice chat. Asked him to shut up almost every day and he ignored me. It was borderline abusive behavior. As the guy that stays up late gaming, I make it a point to not be loud in comms because that would irritate me to no end. It's just disrespectful. I feel this so much. I have to keep one ear slightly offset so I can hear my own volume. Lol. This is what I do and actually is why I use earbuds instead of big headphones so that I can hear if I'm being too loud or if someone needs something. Lol. I don't know the formal word for this classification of headphone. I recommend over-ear headphones that have holes in the earpieces to allow in outside noise. It's more comfortable and it helps you detect and locate footsteps better, in-game and out. Sennheiser drop is a good example. Open back is the term you're looking for. Downside is what you're listening to will be audible to the room you're in, much quieter than speakers though. Upside is they almost always have better sound quality than closed-back headphones. I keep an eye out for headphones with a monitor feature. The PS5 headset has a little switch that you can turn on and off that allows you to hear your own voice. If you're on PC or PlayStation, it'll work for you. Xbox I'm not sure about. Same. I work till 11 p.m. Makes me wonder why I went with surround sound to hear footsteps to my left when the left ear isn't listening. Hell yeah, man. Lately on days that I work I play games and such till like 11 p.m. then try and get to sleep, and on my off days I play until midnight, always with my door closed, and I always try and make sure I'm not talking too loud. If I find something funny I start laughing kind of loud, but that's about it. My dad used to do this in high school. My bedroom backed onto where he had set up his computer with extra loud speakers and there was no insulation between rooms. The bastard would fall asleep playing video games at 3 to 4 a.m. with the volume on high, so all I could hear are bombs going off and angry Germans or Russians, and I had to be up at 6:30 for school. I'd bang on the walls for him to be quiet, and half the time he either couldn't hear or would ignore me. The other half, he'd turn it down then slowly turn it back up. The result of years of this, I have insomnia. I developed a sleep pattern of sleeping 3 to 6 p.m., then again 2 to 6 a.m. as a teen. Now I can't seem to fall asleep before 1 if I'm lucky, and the kids wake me up at 6. I'm so sleep deprived I'm afraid of driving half the time for more than 20 to 30 minutes at a time. All because he refused to wear headphones. His mild discomfort and enjoyment was worth more than my health and sanity to him. It was completely abusive. I no longer speak to him for this, and obviously other reasons. This type of behavior is never a one-off. Oh, if I go flip the circuit breaker for that specific area of the house. Same here, or trip the power to the damn house. I'd sneak up behind the numb F with an air horn, first. My brother used to do this when I still lived at home. So one night after he kept waking me up, even when I asked him to please stop yelling as it was waking me up, I disconnected the Wi-Fi router. It was in my room. He kicked in my door and my parents blamed me because I disconnected the Wi-Fi. WTF? My 2 teens have rooms in the loft. I set the Wi-Fi to go off at 10 weeknights and 11 weekends so my son can't keep everyone up yelling at his mates online. Can't understand why your parents would blame you. Death with the same. Started a 3-strike rule, 3rd time flipped the breaker to the sockets in the sitting room, only ever had to do it once. I had same problem in uni. Lived in an apartment-style dorm with 3 other fobs who stayed up till 3/4 am gaming non-stop every day. Could hardly sleep, but never stopped me from waking up. I'm a morning bird who always wakes up 6 a.m. to get revenge after a month of this crap. I try to make as much noise and just have the most annoying and loudest morning routine. Blasting screamo/weep nightcore/rock music on my Bose speakers. Cooking breakfast with the fans at full blast. Using my hair dryer and electric razor instead of a towel or razor. If your parents say no to the lock, go buy a cheap floor door stopper and wedge it in there at night. There's actually cheap portable locks you can buy which might work better than a door stopper. I use whenever I travel since it makes me feel safer, especially in an Airbnb or something. Web link. These are actually super safe. I highly recommend this op. I would have been banging pots and pans while he was having a hangover. But I'm also petty. I think it's a good time to take up a musical instrument. Like violin or trumpet. But I'm petty too. Oh, you devil. A newbie adult violinist. Definitely not what anyone wants to hear, let alone a hungover mate. I've heard bagpipes are terrible. And have experienced the god-awful honking and squeaking of someone learning saxophone. Drums are good. If I ain't sleepin', ain't nobody sleepin'. Anytime anyone mentions pots and pans I think of YouTube link. Have you tried recording what he looks like and how he acts? I work teaching DUI, drinking under the influence, and they really have no clue how bad they look or act until they see if after being videotaped. Do it every time as he has severe drinking problem and it may ending up killing someone if he drives, or ruining his health. This is on top of ruining the relationship you and him have. Good luck. This is a good idea. Until he sees what an ass he's making of himself, at everyone else's expense, he's going to continue being a titty baby throwing a tantrum. My partner didn't realize what a total abusive butt he was to me when he gets drunk until I didn't go out with him one night and he texted the verbal abuse instead. He didn't realize he had a problem until he was reading the messages sober the next day. Wish I would have thought of recording a long time ago. People who are obnoxious, mean, aggressive, abusive etc. when they are drunk, I don't trust them when they are sober either. At the very least, they have problems that they are only able to hide when sober. Web link. I don't mean to make assumptions, but are you sure he only does it when he's drunk? He could just, be more subtle about it when he's sober. Original poster replies. I will. Op, it's really easy to change the doorknob to one with a lock. Your local hardware store might be able to help you out if you want to do it yourself. Original poster replies. Yeah, I'll get a lock. Will your parents be mad if you put the lock on yourself? Decent parents would not be, or even better, manage the brother better so you don't need the lock in the first place, but if they're not, using a door stopper you can pick up in the morning and hide may be safer for you. You can also find other DIY options online, many with YouTube explanations on how to make them, with items that don't automatically look suspicious. I hate you're going through this. You deserve privacy and to sleep in your own bed unbothered. You're not overreacting at all to defend yourself. This sounds like the stereotype of drunk aggressive family member. He has a problem and probably needs some help, but you also need to be able to feel safe. Your parents need to step up and help both of you. The problem is that when the brother is drunk, he wants to talk to his sister. His drunk mind doesn't remember, or just doesn't care, that he's been told not to. My worry is that when he comes home and finds the bedroom door locked, that he'll attempt to break the door down. Both the original poster and her father need to be prepared for the brother turning nasty and aggressive when he's blocked from his drunken goal. Then they need to act as parents and parent him. That's some relaxed parenting that made this happen in the first place. If I ever even attempted to try that, I would be smacked into another country and would sober up real quick. I absolutely agree with you, this is something that should have been nipped in the bud far earlier, but I've seen how quickly a drunk person can flip when blocked from something they want. Original poster and family need to be prepared for that. The brother is also 19. If he doesn't quit the crap, I would kick him out of the house. No, he's being nasty and aggressive already. This isn't an issue of his drunk mind and not remembering. He's throwing a fit and calling her nasty names right now while sober. No, he's being nasty and aggressive already. This isn't an issue of his drunk mind and not remembering. He's throwing a fit and calling her nasty names right now while sober. Which is exactly my point and why I have mentioned they need to be prepared for him to try breaking the door down. He's got no respect and isn't going to let a door lock stop him. Who gives a crap if he wants to talk to his sister at 4 in the morning while he is blind drunk? Also, where did you get the idea he wants to have a chat? No. He is potentially dangerous. She needs a lock, and if he breaks down the door, maybe Dad will wake up and actually do something other than tell the brother, "Don't do that, son." She doesn't like it. It's not nice. Please stop. Who gives a crap if he wants to talk to his sister at 4 in the morning while he is blind drunk? Only him, and that's the problem. Also, where did you get the idea he wants to have a chat? The babbling on about something part of the original post. Perhaps an incorrect assumption, but I'm guessing that happens quite often. No. He is potentially dangerous. And where have I said he's not? My initial post was me worrying about him becoming aggressive if he encounters the locked door, and they need to be prepared for that. If he becomes angry enough to break down a door, it's unlikely he'll calm down quickly. Both Dad and sister need to be prepared. I understand. Your warning can appear to be better not do it, you'll piss him off. But you intend to do it, but be prepared for drunk him to be in butthole about it. Not what I intended to say, but your point is taken in how it could be read. I didn't mean to come across as aggressive toward you. It sounded to me as if you were suggesting she not get a lock because he might get violent, and I say he is already violent, and at least a lock will slow him down. That's all. Your reaction is understandable since you thought I was saying not to put a lock on the door. Look at y'all communicating and working out misunderstandings in a rational manner. On the internet, no less. You're all terrific. I wish I could upvote this 10 more times. It is so rare to see people do this online. I mean, I'm team do more than a lock unless you want to get a different kind of door. Usual doors for the inside are just visual barriers, really. If the concern is what if he breaks the door and then what happens after, she needs and deserves more protection than a lock in the hope that her parents will be vigilant about handling a problem that arises. Maybe a bat or something, to be honest. F this guy. His drunk mind doesn't remember, or just doesn't care, that he's been told not to. Then why is he mad about it hours later, while, ostensibly, sober? He knows he's being a drunken slob and waking her up. He just thinks he's entitled to. And if he can't drink without A, getting hammered to the point of obnoxiousness, B, waking up people who are trying to sleep, and C, getting angry and aggressive, he should probably not drink. I think he might not want to be forced to face reality where him being drunk is something that is issue. Getting mad about it lets him live in his fantasy world where him drinking is harmless fun and everyone else overreacts about it rather than seeing his behavior during being drunk as issue. Also, of course, entitlement. But if he admits that he behaves the wrong way while drunk, he needs to also fix it. And that might mean that only possible fix is quit drinking. I used to work with a guy. Former military, big guy, really fit. He could not drink. Because even a small amount of booze, I'm talking just a couple drinks, turned him into a monster. It was crazy. He would get really aggressive. I never saw him get actually violent, but he was really threatening, would get into verbal fights and threaten people. If someone brought it up, he'd get super defensive. But after a while, It caused so many issues that he was like, "Oh F, I can't drink. I am not a good person when I drink." He stopped drinking. I haven't seen him in years, so I hope he's still sober, but the last time I did, it was at a party I threw. I made him some non-alcoholic cocktails. He was super appreciative. Some people just can't drink because either they can't control the amount or their behavior becomes a problem when they do. I think it takes a lot for some people to recognize that. This exactly. My father used to do this when I was the same age. I got him to get me a lock for my bedroom when he was sober. He frequently brought home people I didn't know. One night it was locked and he wanted to talk. He busted the door and was pissed. I ran to the bathroom. They were connected. When he sobered up, he asked what happened to the door and why was it busted. He was mad at me. I told him. Luckily he dropped it and fixed it. Op is not the butthole. Her parents have greatly let down both original poster and Op's brother. My concern is that sobered up in the light of day, he's mad he won't be able to open her door whenever he wants. Yeah, someone starts breaking doors while they're drunk, it's time to kick them out of the house. From the sounds of the argument, his sober mind also doesn't give a crap. When I read the title, I assumed original poster at least screamed at him or physically shoved him out of the room, but all she did was take the first steps toward getting a lock with her dad. I don't understand how someone, even someone over the top unreasonable, could find a way to take offense to that. Even if she had screamed at him or physically shoved him out, I don't think she'd be a butthole, considering this is far from the first time he's done it. Oh, for sure, I completely agree. I just expected that whatever her brother had deemed an overreaction would be a reaction, in the moment. Instead, original poster is simply adding an amenity to her bedroom that she probably should have had all along anyway. If you don't understand it, you've never met a self-justifying alcoholic. The whole world has to change so they don't have to. Yeah. It is really concerning that the brother feels entitled to have access to his sleeping sister. A lock sounds very overdue. Not the butthole. I don't care what the relationship is, any sober adult man who is upset that he's lost access to a sleeping child while intoxicated has huge red flags and problems. The parents should never have allowed the intrusion a second time. Read through her post history. It is especially concerning. Yeah, I got to say this post gave me the creeps when I read it. It's weird that he keeps showing up in her room. It doesn't sound like it's a question of him getting lost, and any normal person should be apologetic that they need locking out. Not angry. If it were a roommate, I certainly wouldn't give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm just going to jump onto this and say Op's brother is incredibly dangerous. He regularly drinks too much, and goes into his sister's room without consent, then tries to gaslight her and everyone else when he's sober. Even with a lock, there is no way this ends well unless one of them moves out, not the butthole. Right? Why is he so obsessed with coming into his 16-year-old sister's room? While intoxicated, no less? That totally rubs me wrong, and I'm shocked that the dad hasn't done more. Nah, they should have put him out months ago. If he can't manage not to behave like a jackass every time he goes out to drink, then he should at least be kept from bothering everyone else. The door should have had locks from the beginning. 100%, not the butthole. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.